Spaghetti will fire for the win. He gets it! The Clippers lead it! Oh, real my!
Last season, the LA Clippers took a huge step forward, finishing in third place in the Pacific Division. This year, LA added veteran guards Sam Cassell and Cuttino Mobley to man the backcourt. And with perennial double-double man Elton Brand anchoring the post, expectations are high in Hollywood. The West Side Story is next on day 3 of NBA TV's Real Training Camp. There's nothing wrong with having a little beach action, some trees, sunshine, Southern California weather, about 80 degrees, and that means you're in Santa Barbara, and you're here at day 3 of NBA TV's Real Training Camp. We're at Santa Barbara City College. I'm Andre Aldridge, and we're at the site of the Los Angeles Clippers training camp. This is day 3 of Real Training Camp for us here at NBA TV. We started in Oklahoma City on Tuesday with the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets, and then day 2 was back in North Carolina with the Charlotte Bobcats. But today, a little Southern California flavor. You saw the beautiful scenery outside. Maybe this is the most beautiful junior college in America, Santa Barbara City College, but a lot of hard work to go on here for the head coach Mike Dunleavy and his Clippers. Now, they had a 9-game improvement last season over his first season. This is his 3rd season in charge, and before we get to the actual practice, which took place on Thursday, well, you have the guys getting ready for practice, and you got to know if everybody's healthy or not. So for a behind-the-scenes look at that, we begin with the Clippers trainer, Jason Powell.
Right now, we're obviously not as bad as we were last year. We had a whole roster able to be out last year, about 5 or 6 guys. But we had a lot of guys that committed themselves this summer to working out and conditioning their bodies and stuff. So we came in pretty much in shape outside of, a couple guys who had some bumps and bruises from working out in the off season. So outside of that, we're not too bad. But the guys that are out are making some good progress. So I plan for them, come around pretty soon.
For a lot of times we focus on coaches and players, but, as a trainer, you must hold your breath every year, hoping that you can make it out of training camp and into the regular season without too many bangs and bruises on.
Every year, hold it every day, because every day could be an injury, So you just hope for the best, hope guys, to pretty much stay up. But, as a trainer, you're here for what could happen, so you just hope that everybody can stay up and, and when they do go down, you just try to do your best to get them back.
What are some of the typical things you see daily when you in practice?
A lot of people's back spasm, rehydration, bunch of knee soreness, swelling and stuff, just for the long days, tour days, and the bumps and grinds and everything. So, but they seem to get through it, and that's what we're here for, to help them, be able to either 1, make the team, or 2, stay healthy as possible.
I've been through a lot of training camps, but this one in particular. Very excited to add, players like Cuttino Mobley, Sam Cassell, veteran players that, won a lot of games in this league.
Talk a little about that. Years past, Clippers always like a young team. Now you brought in some veterans, almost adds like instant credibility. Just talk about that a little more.
Yeah, I think, bringing in Sam Cassell, bringing in Cuttino Mobley brings like an instant credibility to the team, brings a swagger to the team. We've always been a young team. Low in salary, but this year, we switched that up because no teams really win like that. If you look at, year after year, it's not young teams deep in the playoffs and in championships. It's veteran-laden teams, and now we're heading in that direction.
I don't think a lot of fans out there know how hard you guys work, how hard you guys train. It's kind of like all natural. But talk about, I don't even think they know what 2-a-days are. Can you just kind of tell us what 2-a-days training is and what you guys go through?
Well, right now it's about 7:15 a.m. You come in, you get treatment, you get taped, get yourself prepared. Most guys over there at 8 o'clock, like my boy Fred right here, he'll be over there early getting up shots, getting prepared for the practice. Practice starts about 9 a.m. and mostly conditioning. You know, we run sprints. We go over the plays. We do a lot of drills. And that could be exhausting because, you know, coach wants to see who's in shape, who's not in shape. You know, I'm in shape, so I don't worry about that stuff. Then second practice is more contact, 5-on-5 kind of stuff. And then again, we run a little bit and get the 5-on-5 on, get the scrimmaging on, run the sets that we worked on earlier. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot.
Long days, huh?
Long days, yeah. That starts at, second practice starts at 5. So you get in about, you know, 3:30 to get tape. After your nap, maybe from 12 to 2, or get lunch or whatever you're gonna do. Then from about 5 to 7:30, that's the second practice.
For me, it's just a new experience, you know, great experience, because it's everything different, and just there is a difference between camps here and camps in Europe. So it's just like, you know, it's third day right now starting, and I needed like maybe one day to just move into these, how it's all going, and just, you know, to know all about it. Now I feel much better and more comfortable.
You said there's differences between camps in Europe and camps over here. What are some of those differences?
I think that the difference is that here's a lot of players that are like, they're trying to get into the team. Like, I think that in Europe, there's like training camp already starts with the guys with who's in the team, and there's like, I don't know, but not so aggressive and not so hard playing, and you know, how you say, like competition. Yeah, the competition is great here, and you know, it's very hard to play. It's great.
Camp's been going good, man. We just getting used to the plays and the different sets. Can be a little irritating because a lot of the things they look the same, but there's different versions to them. So just kind of getting used to that and getting used to what coach wants, and trying to execute the things that he wants.
What status are you with the team right now?
Right now, I'm a free agent and trying to make the team. And I've been through various training camps before, so I kind of got an understanding of what to do and what not to do. Don't be late, you know, things of that nature, and play every play like it's your last. Try to keep the veterans happy, particularly superstars like Elton Brand over here. Keep him happy. That's half the battle. And you know, just give it everything you have, you know, because any day might be your last. So you want to kind of stick to your strengths, and everything else take care of itself.
All right, so that kind of gives you a look at how things go going into training camp and getting ready for the day's activities. Right now, though, we're going to take a brief timeout. When we return, we'll get to the actual scrimmaging right here on the floor behind me when NBA TV's Real Training Camp returns to Santa Barbara City College. Welcome back inside the gym here at Santa Barbara City College. And Andre Aldridge here with you for Clippers Real Training Camp here on NBA TV. And, you know, I kind of gave you some numbers in the last segment on the Clippers under Mike Dunleavy. Again, 28-54 doing his first season here 2 seasons ago. And then last season, 37-45 season for them. But they're looking at much, much more this season, like the playoffs. And you got to get yourselves together and you got to get to know one another. The only way to do that is to scrimmage. So let's get a sound and a taste of these new look Clippers under Coach Dunleavy and their scrimmage.
Side out, 4 up. One of the other options basically is this. We go 4 up wide, okay? If if we got a size advantage here and a guy plays to a front, you know, it depends. Raise it up a little bit higher, see if you can get him. You might get the easy one over the top, okay? But a lot of times if this guy's playing on the inside of you here and the guy comes down for the screen and he does this, you got to pull to the, if you pull to the corner, okay? Out of our corner set, get your catch. All right, from the corner, basically now, big man steps up, sets the screen. you're going up top, or your cut is depending on how the defense guards you. If he catches you on this side, you're going lob. If he jumps to this side, you're running this way, and then your look here is this late look. You're cutting along here late, you're late, because a lot of times that pass comes here through here, and you get a nice easy reverse layup on it. After you cut through, you cut through to the box over there. Kaman sets here, okay? Now, typically when we run this, out of our corner set, we like to flare this guy for the jump shot. Yari, you'd be on the low box right there. But if it happened, it's okay. If you get caught and we're wide and we're already down, okay, if he comes off the screen, then it's going to be a pin down. If the guard is up, it's a flare. If the guard is down, it's a pin down. But typically, the way we like to run it is he's up to here to begin with. EB comes up and sets the screen. Q goes off, okay? Let's say you flare him, you throw it over the top for shot, or if this guy typically, again, he's got a post matchup, you can post him, or he goes right into a 12 action on the skip of the ball. He brings him here, brings him back to the box for the shot.
But offensively, Dale was saying he puts that guy up here.
He does what?
He puts the guy up here. So you can, if you gotta help. Instead of keeping them bird in the corner.
You mean the pick and roll in the corner off the top?
The high pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
He puts him up here.
Yeah, well that one, I mean, I think you can.
You're right, because now he says you got to make a choice, because most people don't help on this like you do.
Yeah, but you could. I still wouldn't help
come
on.
off. No, I wouldn't.
Not the guys. Not the guys that we either designate a shooter or non-shooters, you know. And
but it was funny what he said too, though. This is what my point was. He tells this guy to shoot.
Yeah, well, we'll roll a guy up.
Yeah.
Start him down, and then.
He's rolling him up from right here now.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping it, so the guy can really read that he's got to help.
Yari, get your finish up. Finish up. A lot of times you're just out too flat. It's all about arch for you. Get it up. There you go.
I make 10.
I'm totally timing Sam, my read, right? So as I'm coming here, I'm going, oh.
Right.
Sweeper, baby.
Okay.
Sweeper the keeper.
Anyway. Every time you shoot, you act.
See, and then what happens is, for you both you guys, and then you make, like you did a better job last night, you get into this pocket, Elton and Kaman gonna get easy buckets because they gotta come to you, because if you get in here, and if you can score either way, Big's got to step up. I either got that one or that one to them, and they can finish those. Yari, why don't you go to the middle line?
Right.
Ready, go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I tell them bank every shot. 14, 16, 18, Wheezy. First group out right here, first group out. Let's go at a sideline, 5-on-0. Which one you want? Where's Cat? You want out? Get somebody in. All right, let's go 4 times at a sideline. Sam, you call it.
Swing, man. Let's go swing first. Come on, push it down.
Swing. Screen away, Kaman. There you go. Chase him, chase him.
Well, a lot of optimism for the Clippers and their fans going into this season because of many of the veterans you saw out there on the court working very, very hard. We're going to take another time out. When we come back, I'll be joined by the Clippers television analyst Mike Smith, and he'll break down some things, and we'll talk to some members of the organization when we come back right here on Real Training Camp. And welcome back. We are here inside the Sports Pavilion here at Santa Barbara City College, and Andre Aldridge is very thrilled to be joined earlier today by the Clippers television analyst Mike Smith, the man who also played for the ball club many years ago. And among the things we did, well, we talked to many members of the organization, beginning with the man up top, Vice President of Basketball Operations, Elgin Baylor.
Well, we're all excited about it. I think the new additions that we've added to this team with Mobley and Cassell, it's something that we needed last year. We didn't have the perimeter shooting outside, consistent shooting that we needed. Also, the fact that these guys are terrific players, the leadership that they're going to bring, it definitely is going to help our inside game. Players like Brand, Wilcock, Kamen, Rabrashka, our low post players. And the fact that last year we struggled. Close games, we lost a lot of close games because two things we didn't do. We weren't able to make the big shot, and we weren't able to make the stops. This year, I believe we're definitely going to be a better defensive team, but definitely going to be a better offensive team. And we have two players. In fact, we have a couple of players that can make the big shots, but now we have a threat for at least 4 or 5 guys, because Cassell, he relishes on making the big shots. I know he's always killed us, and also Mobley's hit some big shots against us. So I guess it's if you can't beat them, join them. And so we're just happy to have these two players on our team.
Just try to learn the plays, especially if you're a new team like I am, and being in the 7th year. You just enjoy the game, I guess. You really don't worry about the camp. Camp's a lot more running, and we're building some type of camaraderie, some chemistry. So it's going to be frustrating at times, but you get over it in a week, and then you start to play, and it lightens up a little bit.
For those who have no idea what an NBA training camp is about, give us a brief description of what it's like for a veteran and what it's like for free agents trying to make this team.
Well, free agents, I really don't know. I mean, I suppose it's a lot harder for them, because they don't have the window is not as wide open as it is for us veterans. And for veterans, you can kind of coast a little bit because you know your strengths, being 6 years in the league and whatever how many years somebody else has been in the league. But for rookies and for free agents, it's a little bit more. I would say a little more scarier for them.
We have so many young guys that have a chance to just grow on their own, because second or third year in the league now. In some cases, between Elton's been here for 3 years, Kamen, with me for 3 years, Kamen for 3 years with me now, Maggette for 3 years. We have a core group of guys that understand the system, and you can build on that, and you add a couple of veteran players to that group in the backcourt, and Sam Cassell and Cuttino Mobley, it makes us feel like we have a chance to improve another 8 or 9 games, which is what I think it'll take for us to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. And the one thing that you can't control in the world of sports is the injury monster, or the injury bug monster, in your case last season. So how does that weigh into what you're trying to do in camp when you're thinking about Sean and other things that happened last year?
Well, what we're trying to do is I don't know the answers to it, but we try and spend a lot of time with our stretching and doing any work we can do, core work, get guys stronger and ready to go. And at this point in time, really be more protective of them in training camp, where it calls to be that way, in the hopes that we get guys for the regular season, and we get a productive year that way.
I have real high expectations for this ball club. Adding Sam Cassell, Cuttino Mobley gives us that veteran swagger. These guys, been there. Sam has 2 rings. Cuttino's been in the playoff 2 or 3 times. So, You know, they're bringing that leadership and they're bringing that firepower to our ball club.
You know, I've stood next to you during an All-Star game when you're an All-Star, and I've stood on the baseline and watched you put in work. So why is it that the influx of a couple of guys can mean such a difference to you?
You know, if you look at the championship teams throughout the years, you look at the teams that went deep in the playoffs, you don't really see young guys, young teams. You know, now we have more of a veteran-laden team, and that's what wins in this league.
The games that you improved upon last year for Coach Dunleavy. His first year, you have 28 victories. Last season, you have 37, 9 more. But I think what the coaching staff and what you as players have been saying to me is that we look at those close games that we lost that we feel we should have won.
Oh, yeah, it was 15, 16 games, 3 points or less, 7 or 8 overtime games. So you got a clutch player like Sam Cassell, Cuttino Mobley, myself, I'm improving. I'm looking forward to that challenge.
I'm feeling good. The back is feeling good. Just trying to take the time, in order to get it right for the season. So that's the number one priority.
Now, you're the fourth pick of the draft in 2004, and you come in with high hopes, but you get hit by the injury bug there. So you missed 52 games last season. Had you been injured coming up at all?
My freshman year in high school, I was injured twice, just kind of like last season, and I was out for most part of that season. Then I didn't get any more until last season. So.
Last season, you deal with Marco Yarch a little bit, and now he's gone on to another club. But you get one of the most talkative 36-year-olds in America in Sam Cassell as a backcourt mate. So what's it like for your game to come here and you guys play in the same position?
It's going to be good. It'll be a positive effect for me, just, because of the fact that he brings in so much leadership and experience, that I can learn off of being a young guy and not knowing too much, and just learning. So it's going to be a good, positive feeling for me.
All right, now you've heard from the players, so we need to take one final timeout, but we'll come back to put a wrap on this edition of NBA TV's Real Training Camp. Keep it right here. All right, so a day by the beach, not a day at the beach, definitely not for the Los Angeles Clippers as they get ready to embark on what they believe will be a very, very big season for them. You have to think about their history, and you have to do that if you've spent any amount of time around them. 34 years in this league and only 5 winning seasons, 6 trips to the postseason for them, but because of the makeup of this current team, they believe that they can really make some noise this season in the NBA. And all of that, most of that comes because of the signing of Cuttino Mobley, largest free agent signing for a non-Clipper player for this franchise. And meanwhile, well, he also has in the backcourt Sam Cassell, who has 2 finals rings from his days back in Houston and knows all about taking care of business when it's time to make big shots. So all that being said, you see why the optimism is here for Mike Dunleavy and his squad. Mike Dunleavy in his 3rd season here in charge of the Los Angeles Clippers. It's been great to have you here with us on Real Training Camp, and don't forget, we've got all kinds of goodies coming your way because we've got all 30 teams covered from now until October 28th. Don't forget to tune in Friday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, when we'll be in Richmond, Virginia, and we'll be at the training camp of the Washington Wizards. Eddie Jordan had a phenomenal season for his ball club last year, and he continues that to keep going on for him. Meanwhile, here, the LA story is now a story of 2 very good ball teams. The Clippers believe they're better than the Lakers. Now they're going to have to go out there and try to show it to everybody in the NBA. Thank you so much for joining us. For Mike Smith, who was here with us earlier, I'm Andre Aldridge. Remember, the ball always bounces in our house right here on NBA TV. Thanks for joining us on Real Training Camp.